Welcome back to the channel. This is a car that I'm starting to hate, and today we're gonna swap out these lights. Now, I've had a persistent issue on this car where this bulb repeatedly dies. I replaced it with a new one and then it died again a couple months later. And this has just been a continuing cycle, so there is something else wrong with this light. So at this point, we're going to be changing out the housing. Now that said, the steps that I'm going to show, you can follow them and just change out the bulb itself and not the entire housing. But if you're having this problem and it's repeatedly burning out in a very short amount of time, probably time to change that out. So let's get right into it. All right, you got some bolts here on the inside of the fender liner on the back side, and there's this access panel down here. You can get away with just doing the access panel. I'm gonna loosen these ones as well though. Those are 7mm, and I'm just gonna impact those off. All right, side of the car here. Looking at this access hole, here's your brake duct. You can completely remove that if you need to, but these are the bolts that we're going for. I'm having a really tough time getting the camera up through this access hole to show where the two bolts are that hold this in. So let's look at the new part real quick. So looking up from the bottom, this is what it's gonna look like. You might have to do a little bit of reaching. If you're just going to replace one of the two bulbs, you can see where the two access holes are here. You're just gonna twist and pop those out. Now at this point, I've had these lights on the car for about a couple of years. These have been absolutely flawless and the fitment has been great. So if you wanna pick up a set of your own, I put an affiliate link in the description below. But let's quickly jump forward in the footage to when I had the old part removed, just so you can more clearly see the two bolts that were holding this into the bumper. All right, so here is the light out of the car. When you're looking at it up from the bottom like this bolt here was a 7mm, this bolt here was a 10mm. Now that gets this entire housing out. There's also going to be a spring that connects from here to an anchor point just under here on the bumper, and this is what that spring looks like. It just hooks on both ends. All right, so now jumping back in footage to actually removing that old light housing. As you can see here, I've got the access panel open, and all those bolts that I took out of the fender liner are just to move that out of the way a little bit more and give myself some more room. Like I said, you can remove the brake duct that's running in the center, but you don't necessarily need to, and I found it was actually pretty challenging to remove, so I didn't want to deal with putting it back in. Having said that, there is actually a surprising amount of space once you get your arm in there to move around and actually reach those two bolts. So I had a 1/4-inch ratchet here. It's one of the stubby ratchets, and I had absolutely no issue getting that thing in there. So you might need to reposition yourself to get a good angle, but once you're in there, there is ample space to work. And as you can see here, once it was unbolted, it took a little bit of finagling from the front of the car for me to unhook that spring, just because I didn't know it was there originally. But once I got that detached, I also popped out the two bulbs that are in this housing. Then I was able to push this entire housing backwards and outward through the fender liner. Once you get that out, you got these other two 7mm bolts, so we're just going to impact those out. That'll get this entire shroud off, and then we are going to put in the new housing. But in the meantime, here is our old bulb. This is the one that keeps blowing. You can tell that's not exactly good, and the entire housing around the base looks to be a little bit charred, which means it's getting really hot. If you look in here, you'll also see a little bit of bubbling right there at the top from all of the heat that these things create. So that is actually an issue that these housings have, the OEM housings, that they cook through the top, they cause leaks, some water gets in there, or just in general they overheat, which is part of the reason that I'm going to new housings on this. Some people say that you can take these off, reseal them, and then everything works hunky-dory, but the problem is this generates so much heat either way that I don't really trust it, and I'm tired of replacing bulbs on this thing every few months. So now we're gonna swap over to this new housing. If you do not already have the parts purchased, buy the bulbs as well, because most of the housings that are cheap do not come with new bulbs built in. These are only a couple bucks each, and while you got it out, you might as well replace them all. So with that, let's get back to it. While I had the housing out, I also repaired that front grille insert, simply because those are known to fall apart. So basically I cleaned it up and then just resealed the edges of it using some epoxy. So if you're doing this, it's worth checking that while you have the housing out. Otherwise, that shroud that was held on by the two 7mm bolts, I'm going to transfer that to the new light housing. Then I can go ahead, slide that in from the rear fender liner, and then get that bolted back into place after the lights are snapped in. And finally, don't forget to reconnect that spring that connects the bumper to the back of the housing. That'll prevent this from sagging over time, and it'll keep the fitment around the front of that a lot more tight. And just as a quick comparison, here's the first housing that we've replaced, and then going over to the other side of the car, you can see the old one. Absolutely
absolutely night and day difference between the two. The new one looks so much better. And honestly, even if you're not blowing bulbs yet, just the visual upgrade of how much more updated this looks is well worth the $50 to $70 that these cost for the pair. But at this point, we're done on this side. So if you remove the brake duct, you can reinstall that now. Otherwise, we're just going to reinstall that access panel and then also reattach the fender liner on the back side. And then we'll move over to the other side of the car, and it is the exact same process with the exact same bolt sizes over here.
Okay, over here on the passenger side now, here is the factory light, here is the aftermarket light. So here is why these keep blowing. This gets so hot that it literally cracks the top of the housing, and some of these get water that leaks in there. But either way, if you look in there, that's all nice and bubbly and deformed from how much heat that bulb creates. So to be honest, this one's probably blowing less because it has some way to vent that heat out now that there's a nice big gaping hole in it, but that is not what we want. So by comparison, nice smooth housing, and if you look on the inside, oh look, it's not bubbled. I'm hoping that dissipates the heat better. And if not, we'll have to look into an alternative, such as a bulb that creates less heat, so maybe converting these to LEDs so that they're not burning out constantly. So that is why these things are notorious for blowing these front bulbs. It is just not well designed for the amount of heat that it creates.
All right, so reattaching the shroud and then installing the new light over on this side. Once again, pretty much the exact same thing that we did on the other side of the car. Well, it took me a little bit of time to figure out what I was doing on that first side. This side went significantly faster, and honestly, knowing what you're doing going into this and where those bolts are, you could probably swap both of these lights in under 30 minutes for your first time doing this. The other thing I want to note is having the front wheels off made it a little bit easier for me to reach in by those fender liners, but it's not completely necessary to remove those front wheels. But either way, I think you do want to still jack up the front of the car just to get better access to that underside. Otherwise, it's going to be quite challenging to fit your arm underneath this thing. But either way, that is another job complete, so go ahead and clean up. I hope this video helped you guys out. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.